On the tee from the United States of America, the Back Nine Bros. Starting in three, two, one.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Back Nine Bros. We have a very fun and special guest today, a member of this year's U.S. Walker Cup team, and somebody I'm lucky enough to call a friend, David Ford. David, what's going on, brother? How are you?
What's up? I'm doing well. How are you guys?
Good. Just living the college
Dylan.
golf life, like I assume you are.
Yeah.
I guess a month into the season. What you guys up to now? Probably a bunch of good tournaments on the schedule, I'm assuming.
Yeah, we got back from one I guess 2 nights ago, and we're leaving for one tomorrow, and I'll be gone for pretty much every day in October. So really busy but really fun.
I never told you this, but Isabel Rose, the advisor, I don't know if you ever had her, but she was a athletic advisor at UNC.
Yeah.
She's now at Richmond, so she's our advisor.
Oh wow.
But she always, whenever we don't meet her standards, she always compares us to you guys. So,
I never
uh,
had her, but I know the guys mentioned her
yeah, she's
from the team.
cool. Anyway, I know you guys were in Texas. Was that at Colonial this year? Because I know you usually play the Ben Hogan there.
No, I was at Shady Oaks. I think Colonial's getting renovated right now.
Gotcha. So what's it like playing? I mean, you guys' schedule is best of the best. What's it like playing some of the best courses in the country week in and week out?
Yeah, it's cool. I think it's awesome because I think college golf courses and pin positions tend to be harder than professional golf. I think depending on the course, you'll get a lot of hard professional golf pins, but I think just the pins that you see in college golf, they're if you have a golf course that's not that hard, like this one was last week at Shady Oaks, it wasn't that hard, but they made the pins like super hard, and they lengthened it as much as they could. So it's really cool just to see the courses and how they set them up and how they really can set them up hard. And I feel like it's awesome preparation for professional golf, hopefully in the future, but also just the national championship.
Yeah, it's true. Greyhawk, pretty sweet place. What was it like last year? Or did
It was
you guys
cool.
made it last year, I'm assuming.
Yeah,
I don't
yeah, it
remember
was.
watching too much of it, but
Yeah, it was cool. I think I had reminders of Greyhawk actually this week. Sometimes when I play a really hard course, or a really hard pin position, I guess it reminds me of Greyhawk because it feels like every single shot out there at Greyhawk, you're not only is it stressful playing for your school in the national championship, but it's just a golf course that's really stressful. Like you have a shot, and it doesn't feel like there's any breaks. Like you either if you don't hit the fairway, you're in the desert, and you're probably re-teeing, and then coming into greens, the greens are super firm, so it's like there's no breaks in the golf course. They're really fast, and it's just hard, and I mean they lengthen it as much as they can, so it's a good test, but I think they could make it a little easier.
you'll be prepared when you're in the Ryder Cup team. You'll be ready to go.
Yes,
True.
sir. So, David, obviously the Ryder Cup just happened. Tough break for the U.S., but gotta ask you, how was that Walker Cup experience out at the old course?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I think just like reliving that week, that whole week is so amazing, but also so hard to think about all that we did in that 2 weeks that we were there. It was just we went to New York first and had a great time there, and then went over to Scotland and played some golf before, and honestly got to hang out with the guys a ton, and get to know them well. And then winning the Walker Cup was the most. It was definitely the best part of the week, and I knew that it was going to be the best part of the week if we won. But I think I had so much fun leading up to that I didn't know how much better it is just to like come out on top than it would be if we lost. So it was unbelievable.
And you must have known that putt that you had was to win, right?
I did, yeah, yeah.
What was going
I
through your
wouldn't,
mind before that?
yeah, I wouldn't have lost my mind if my teammate didn't tell me that it was to win. And I knew I saw a leaderboard. It was kind of funny. So like coming off of I think 12 or 13 green, I won a few holes, and then going to hole 13, I made honestly one of the best birdies of my life. And coming off 13, like I was fired up. And then I saw a leaderboard on 14T, and I saw that there was a lot of red on the board, and if I finished my match out, I knew that Greaser had a big lead right in front of me, and Dylan was coming back, and Dunlap was coming back, and it was like everybody was playing well, and it kind of looked like we were going to win, but I kind of wanted to finish it off as quickly as possible, and I lipped out a putt to win on the hole before, but I knew that Greaser was right ahead of me, like kind of fighting for the same thing to win the Walker Cup for our
Yeah.
our country. So it was kind of funny because I made my putt and then I was running down the fairway to meet up with the guys after I knew we'd won. And Greaser, like we heard a roar from Greaser's green right in front of me that I knew that he won his match as well. And he was really fired up about that. So it was cool. Just he was the first guy that I guess I saw out of all the guys, and we ran a huge hug. It was really sweet.
Must have been wild to have 3 UNC guys on one Walker Cup team, especially
It
guys at the
was.
same time.
Yeah, it was honestly like that's probably one of the coolest parts about the week is just having two guys that I know. So or I knew everybody really well, but just like everyone around me knew that the three of us were pretty close. Me, Dylan, and Greaser, and like just having somebody to like talk to whenever was really cool.
You guys
How
must
are
have
the
gotten back to
European
campus.
crowds?
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, Bo.
No, go ahead.
How are the European crowds?
They were cool. I think that was one thing I was going to touch on earlier too, and I was talking about how I kind of knew we were going to win because this guy that I was playing in singles, we were the last match, and he was kind of the firecracker all week. Like had played really well and won a few matches like late in the match, like on 18, I think. And he's a good player. Plays at I think Florida, uh, FAU, Florida Atlantic.
Yeah.
So like really good player, playing the British Open, but like he had a bunch of people following him just because he was loud, he was fiery, and so the European crowds around once I started winning holes on the back nine, they started leaving, which that's when I kind of knew like all right, like the the wind kind of went out of their sails when
Yeah.
like if they're not supporting this guy, then like they must have lost. And I saw people walking out of the property as our matches were finishing, which was it was the sweetest silence ever. But yeah, they were. It was an amazing atmosphere, and it wouldn't have been the same without them.
So what's the whole Walker Cup process like? Because I know you guys have like the practice days and then they narrow down the team and you get all the media day and the apparel
Mhm.
day. So like what's the whole process like?
Yeah, it's I think it's good that we had so much preparation for this Walker Cup because it was on a golf course where the Europeans feel really comfortable, obviously. And I'm not gonna say we didn't, but if it was a ball striking contest, which it was the last day because it was so windy, then it wouldn't have been close. But because St. Andrews is not all that hard when it's not windy and it was pretty warm, then it was kind of a level playing field. So I'm glad we had so much preparation to get our pairings perfect and to get the guys playing together that we wanted to. And like leading up to the week, it was a lot of practice days. We played Kings Barnes, of course, in the area, Dunbarney Links, and then St. Andrews. We walked it on Monday. No, walked it on Sunday maybe, and then played it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday as practice rounds. And then Saturday, Sunday, I'm pretty sure was the tournament, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, it was good to have all that preparation because things happen during the week that just you're not expecting. Like um, Gordon Sargent won both of his matches, which was pretty expected, and then Nick Dunlap didn't play as well as he was playing leading up to the event, and then I lost both my matches and got sick I guess the first day, but was really sick the second day. So the captain had told me that I was going to play 4 times, but then come I think it was Saturday night, he was like they were like, all right, like we're gonna send you guys out, like we know the pairings, and then they went back for 10 minutes and came back, and I was no longer. Me and Stuart Hagestad were sitting, which was honestly shocking for me and Stu. But if it wasn't that way, we wouldn't have won. Like I was not in a position to play golf, uh, to play 36 holes physically or mentally, and then me and Stuart like honestly had a blast watching that morning matches, and we flipped it 3-1. So like all the preparation was key, but then when things change, and as they did during the Walker Cup, then you kind of have to go with what you got. And then captain was like, all right, like I know I just pulled you for a match, which I said I wouldn't do, but like I'm going to put you in the anchor match. And I had like 101-degree fever and was like, all right, captain, like whatever you say. So it was just a lot of thinking goes into it and a lot of planning, but things happen. And it's honestly, it's really fun just to see the changes they make for us to win.
You
A
pulled
little
the MJ flu
sketchy.
game.
Yeah, I was gonna say, well, a little sketchy, especially since it happened too in the Ryder Cup with the U.S. team having the
Yeah.
head cold. I mean, what's going on in the
It
European side?
was, yeah. Yeah, it was Nick
Um,
Gabrielsic that got me sick, if that just to
Jeez,
throw
man.
that out there.
What was it like having Stu on the team? Because you got all these college guys, and then Stu's obviously, I don't know what he is, 35 or something.
Yeah, so Stu's been on 4 Walker Cups or 3 Walker Cups before this one, and it was cool just to see how well, like how much he knew about the Walker Cup and like just experience that he had, but also how much respect he had for our team and like himself included. But I think the other 9 guys, he could see how good the other 9 guys were on the team, and he could also see how close we were. So like we all get along really really well, and we're really good friends, and just having him there to guide us, like when we're unsure of like what to do at opening ceremonies, or even just like share thoughts with us. I honestly, I think he'd be an amazing captain of the Walker Cup, and like I'm biased, I think, just because we had him, but I think there's honestly not a lot of people that are better at like winning Walker Cups than him. He's 4-0, and he's an amazing leader too, and like loves the Walker Cup more than anything else. So yeah, he was basically like a captain, but a captain that's a really good player too.
Kind of like Freddie Couples for all the Ryder
Yeah,
Cup and President's Cup guys.
yeah, exactly.
Was that your first time meeting everyone, or did you know everyone already ahead of time?
Yeah, I was really close with everybody, I think.
Okay.
I think the one guy that I didn't know super well was Ben James, but I knew him very well. I have a really good friend, Devin Patel at Virginia, and like just through Devin, I knew Ben really well, just because they roomed together on the road. And so I had been around Ben at tournaments in junior golf, but I'd never like he was the one guy that was like, all right, I know everybody except for him, and like we ended up like having a blast together, and it was like that with all the guys. But yeah, it was I think it was. I don't know the other Walker Cup teams and what they look like, but just based off what Stu was saying, I think it was one of the closest Walker Cups just as a team, like how well we knew each other, and how much respect we have for one another, but also just how well we got along.
You think you're gonna pull a Ludwig when you graduate and go make the Ryder Cup at Bethpage in 25?
Maybe if I change the European, no. I don't know. I think there's a lot of guys who I would throw on the Ryder Cup team. Well, 2 guys, I guess, Gordon Sargent and Nick Dunlap coming out of college. I don't think there's any reason that they shouldn't be on the Ryder Cup team. So yeah, I think I don't know. I guess I have time to decide that. I definitely think there are players who are ready coming out of college to play.
So obviously Walker Cup sounds like it's pretty awesome. Going back to college, what's like a week or a day in the life for UNC? Because I mean, I play college golf, but not nearly at the level that you're at. So walk us through it. I want to kind of get from my sense to see if it's any similar or if there are any big differences.
Yeah, I think it's pretty similar, honestly. My schedule is really busy, just because I feel like I commit to so many things that are like oftentimes either in the morning or at night. So I don't have a lot of like time just for myself. So that's where my business comes from. But as a team, we don't have like that many structured practices. We travel a ton, and school is hard for me. But like we don't have structured practices, so we'll have them. I don't know, maybe. I mean, if we're home for a week, then maybe twice a week for structured practices, and then qualifying just whenever we need to. But for the most part, it's like waking up or from 6 to 7:30, going to class on Monday, Wednesday, Friday from 9:05 to either 1:35, or on my lab days, which is Wednesday, to till 5 p.m., which is kind of brutal. 9:05 to 5 p.m. is not fun, but I got one break in there for an hour and a half, and then Tuesday, Thursday, uh, and then I'll practice in the afternoon or evening on those Monday, Wednesday, Friday days. Tuesday, Thursday, a lot of times we'll have either qualifying or practice if we decide to do one of those, and that'll be either in the morning or the afternoon, so we won't take up the whole day. We'll have my coach does a really good job of leaving time for us to. He understands how busy everybody is, and he does a good job of just letting us do our own thing and kind of be where we need to be and take care of ourselves. So it'll be in the morning or in the afternoon, one of the two, and sometimes I'll work out in there. I'll usually work out 3 to 4 times a week, and just kind of fit it in whenever I can. Tuesday, Thursdays usually always work out. But yeah, nothing like honestly too crazy with the team. Like it's busy, but I think it's more busy because I mean, honestly, like Austin Greaser is an amazing player. He's one of my teammates, and same with Dylan Minetti. And like the reason why they're so busy is because they're they're such good players, and like they have so many obligations, like not I don't want to say like a ton of media obligations, but like just things to do and like people pulling at them. And I think just like seeing especially Greaser's life and how busy it is. Like he woke up at 6 this morning and he's currently driving somewhere and is getting there at 10 and then waking up at 6 to play golf the next morning. So it's kind of it's just busy individually. I think just because of how good of players we have on this team. Like especially Greasher's a good example of a guy who is busy because his schedule is his individual schedule, not necessarily like what the team imposes on him.
What's it like having your brother now on the team? It's got to be pretty cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's been such a blessing. I think he's loved it, and that's been like the biggest thing for me to see is just how much he loves it and like how well he's playing, but also just how much he loves the community here. And I think he's gotten really plugged into the church that I go to and like a community group there. So it's been sweet to see him just like make so many friends. He probably has way more friends than I do now. Like he probably has, I don't know. I don't have that many friends, but he's got to have like 50 or 60 people in the first month that like walking by and be like, yo, what's up? It's cool. And he pushes me, especially in the weight room. We do pretty similar weight, but I think like he's a little bigger than me, just because he eats a ton. It's
Yeah, I was gonna ask who out lifts who.
I think it's really equal. I think it's honestly he could probably do more, but I think I don't know. I usually when he's doing a little bit more, I usually like go up to that level too. But he knows how much he can lift. But he like his eating habit is crazy. Like we were getting on a plane after this tournament 2 nights ago at Colonial, and like they had this little free ice cream thing. Don't know why, but free ice cream for whatever reason. And he's just like we were about to get on the plane. And he just downed like 3 ice creams just for no reason.
Sounds
He's
like
like,
you,
how many
Bo.
calories are in these?
Yeah, dude, that sounds exactly. I got to stop that. I don't quite have the metabolism of the Fords.
Yeah, we have crazy metabolism, which helps. But yeah, he's eating a lot, so he's a big guy right now.
Speaking of the religious, I know you brought up how you go to church. I know you're very religious. Like, how does that coincide with your life, with your golf? Is it kind of like a guiding thing for you?
Yeah, it's honestly it's everything. I think there'd kind of be no reason for me to play golf if I was just playing for myself. I feel like I'm Christian, and I feel like the Lord has placed a desire in my heart to compete at the highest level in whatever I do. And right now, that's golf. And he's really given me a desire just to play golf and to win tournaments so that I can share what he's done in my life and like the peace that knowing God brings to my life. And I think that like if I didn't have him, not only in the hard moments but also in the good moments, like I remember at Jones Cup, I drove back to UNC. It was like a 5 hour drive, and I just won Jones Cup, biggest tournament of my life. And I remember thinking like if I the reason I played this game was for myself, then like this win would feel so empty. But like because I play for the Lord and like I knew that like he placed me in a position to where it was for his glory. I didn't walk perfectly in that, but I just knew that like because he was guiding me in that moment, like I was fist pumping for like 6 hours straight, just getting hype. So yeah, my faith is everything to me. And honestly, like if it by God's grace, I'm playing golf, but if I was just playing for me, then it'd be pretty lame, honestly.
It's definitely awesome to know that you have someone you could trust always by your side, especially in golf. But I want to take a step back and go back to your brother and what kind of influence you guys had on each other throughout all your golfing careers.
Yeah, huge influence. I remember there was a time, Southern Am 2022 was my first win in a while, like 2 years or something. And I remember like he watched me all 18 holes after he missed the cut, the final round of the Southern Am, and he watched me the entire round and just kind of like looking at him and like knowing that he's a huge reason of my success. In my like speech after, it was like I was giving the speech and I was like, and then I said thank you to my brother, and like while I was doing it, like I just started crying, and I was like, wow, that's crazy. So yeah, he's had a huge influence on my golf. I think just growing up with a brother and having someone to always look at and be like, man, like this guy's doing this, he's doing he's hitting this many 3-footers. Like, how many am I going to hit? And just having that from a young age was really special, and something that you can't really put a price on. So he's a huge reason of why I'm at UNC, like why I feel like I can play golf at the level I play at right now. And yeah, I definitely wouldn't be the same without his motivation, just the way he pushes me.
Well, I remember I got to go down to Atlanta Athletic that one time. It seems like you guys got a pretty good squad out there. I don't know if you're still buddies with all those dudes, but you guys had quite the junior program going on.
Yeah, I'm still good. Yeah, we have a sweet junior program, honestly. Will Moreland plays at Furman. He's won more times than I have in college. I won once. He's won like either 2 or 3 times.
Seems like he wins every time I check a golf style leaderboard.
Yeah, really, really streaky player, really good player. Bruce Murphy, super talented, goes to Tennessee. Reed Swigert played at Coastal Carolina. Mark Brown, Western Kentucky. Will Stakel, Virginia. It's like all these guys that I grew up with are a huge part of why I'm at UNC and like why I feel like when I'm in tournaments, like I don't have to fear the guy I'm playing against because I played against Will Moreland and Bruce Murphy and Will Stakel growing up, and not to mention like a bunch of other pros too that were just huge for competition out there. And yeah, it's a sweet setup at AAC, and that's a huge blessing. That just like I always had someone to play with, but also like I always had a good player to play with. So I actually told one of my friends, Mark Brown, one of my really good friends. He's awesome. He said I was just standing on a tee box and I couldn't help but think like, man, if these guys like if Mark Brown and Bruce Murphy and all the guys that I just named, if they weren't at AAC or like if they ever moved away from AAC, like there's no chance that I'm staying there. And there's no like I love the club, but like I love my friends that I have there. And like there's no way that I'd still uh, be a member there. But just because of what the people have done there, the facilities are amazing. But yeah, I think it's just so amazing to have those people around me.
Well, I've got to bring up one of your finest moments out on the college golf course back at the Stevens Cup in 2022. I remember watching that, and I was just absolutely flabbergasted that 10-hole stretch. I mean, could you just take us through that?
Yeah, it's honestly when I tell the story, it sounds even crazier in my head. But yeah, I don't remember. Honestly, I was thinking about it this past week at Colonial. Now, I don't remember some of the holes, but other holes I remember really well. I went on the front nine. I think it was starting on hole like 5 or 6. I missed a 12-footer for birdie. I missed a 12-footer for birdie. I missed a 12-footer for birdie. I missed a 12-footer for eagle. And that started my birdie run where that was hole 9. So I birdied 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. And then honestly, I missed a putt on 15 for eagle. And then on 17, but I made birdie. And then on 17, I remember how nervous I was too. I was crazy nervous. But 17, I hit arguably my best shot of the week, like right over the flagstick on 17 to like 45 feet, and barely missed that one. And then missed like a 9-footer for birdie on 18. So it was just kind of one of those rounds where it's like, it doesn't make sense. Like I'll be on the golf course and be like, all right, that just wasn't real. Like I can't base my golf off of that because like that might never happen again. It was just yeah, crazy good ball striking day. I made some putts. I don't think I was rolling at my best, but they were just going in. I
So you,
remember like hitting a putt on 16 to go 8 in a row. I remember hitting that putt and being like, "Ooh, that wasn't that good," but then it went in. So
It's
it
meant
like
to
caught the
be.
left lip.
so you
Um,
definitely felt like 59 was certainly in the cards.
yeah, I shot like 2 under on the front or something, um, which I don't know what I shot on the back, but uh, yeah, I guess I knew that I needed to eagle 15 and then birdie out to shoot 59. And so I had an eagle putt on 15. I actually had 6 iron into that hole. Um, but just too nervous for a 59, I guess.
Was
62 was good enough for me too. Honestly, like I was trying to make the putt on 18, but I was bogey free and I was like, all right, just lag it up there, dude.
so what's usually your mentality in college events? Because obviously you're one of the best players out there. A lot of guys expect you to win. But like now that you've done something like that, you obviously won the Jones Cup. Are you going in expecting to win all these events? I know the fields are great, but what's kind of your game plan going in?
Yeah, I think it really changes week to week. Like it sounds silly to say, but um I think this summer I was looking to win, but I wasn't really as confident as I had been in the past. So I feel like this spring I was always looking to win, and every tournament I felt like I had a chance to win, just because of where my game was at and where my mind was at. But this summer I struggled a little bit. I had some awesome weeks, weeks that I played well at North South Am and a few other tournaments, but weeks that like I just struggled sometimes. So kind of, I guess coming into this college season, my mindset right now after coming off a 2-shot loss at the Ben Hogan Collegiate, I feel like my game's in a good spot as ever right now to try to win every tournament, and like that's my goal every week. But honestly, like some weeks it's hard. I feel like some weeks it's like, man, I really don't have my best stuff this week. Like I got to find a way to win, and like that's always my mindset is to win. But like sometimes when I'm out there playing, it's like, wow, this did not go as planned. Like we're 4 over through 12, and like this is just not where you want to be. I think the biggest thing I've learned like over the past year is that golf is really hard, and sometimes it just doesn't make sense. Like I didn't play that good at the tournament this past week, but like my score looked like I played good, and then at Olympia Fields, I feel like I played really well, and I got like 21st or something. So it's just golf is really stupid and really hard, and like the more I try to figure it out, oftentimes the less it makes sense. So just trying to win every week, but understanding that it won't always happen like that.
It's got to be a good mindset going into pro golf in a couple of years, taking
Yeah,
yourself not too seriously.
yeah, I hope so. I mean, it's a pretty stupid game. Like it doesn't make any sense.
I
Even
know.
when you're making
It's
birdies, it doesn't
brutal.
make sense.
Well, when you
So
were at
what's your-
Barbasol, you played pretty well. It made the cut in your debut. I mean, that's definitely a positive.
Yeah, it was good. That's also kind of another one that doesn't make sense there. Like I feel like I played my swing should have been in a better spot towards the end of the week than it was, and I played better the first 2 rounds. Made the cut, but then the last 2 days I didn't play as well as I did the first 2 days, and it was just kind of puzzling. Like I was hitting all the shots that I was in the first round, and as I played well in the third and fourth round, but it didn't add up. It added up to like a little like 72, 71 or something on the weekend, which it was good, but yeah, kind of just another one of those like, man, I thought I could win this week, but it's like somehow I'm not winning. But yeah, it was a huge positive.
So I had somebody tell me who knows Caleb Surratt that he thinks he's good enough to win on the PGA Tour, but not quite a major yet. Are you kind of looking at professional golf that way, or are you just kind of taking it how it is and not thinking that far ahead?
Yeah, I think that's I guess I'm trying to be where my feet are, and my brain hasn't gotten there yet because I know I still have 2 years of college. But I do think especially when I'm at my best, my game is definitely good enough to win. Honestly, I think major championship golf fits my game better than just normal PGA Tour golf. Um, and I think like the harder the golf course is, the better I tend to play. So yeah, I think that like in the future, I think my game is definitely ready for that right now. But I think there's a lot of things I want to do in college golf that um, I don't want to miss out on before I get there. So I think like right now, just kind of trying to be where my feet are. But I do think I play with Caleb Surratt, and he is unbelievable. And I think my game is pretty similar to his. And honestly, yeah, I think that there's definitely a chance.
Love to hear it. Yeah, we're expecting it. Once I'm out of college, I'll start betting on you to win on these majors.
Sweet.
Before we let you go though, we got a quick rapid fire segment. So I just got some questions. They're pretty short answers.
Sweet.
So first one, I know you've already done this, but Walker Cup winning putt or NCAA Finals winning putt?
NCAA Finals.
Your favorite course you ever played?
Eagle Point.
Ooh, don't you guys have that next week?
Yeah, I leave tomorrow
All right, I'm expecting some low ones.
too.
Georgia golf or North Carolina golf?
Georgia golf.
He's got to stick with the roots. He's
Yeah.
got to
Yeah.
stick with the
I
roots.
respect it. I respect
Yeah.
it. Go-to golf course snack.
Sunflower seeds.
Ooh, that's an obscure one. And then finally, would you rather go play for Duke or quit golf?
Go play for Duke. I got some friends on that team.
You're
Golf's
too
pretty
good of,
stupid, but
you're
it's
too
pretty
good of a
fun.
guy to quit golf entirely.
Yeah, I mean, I got some friends at Duke. One of my friends is on the swim team, so I mean, I'm not a fan of the school as much as I am UNC, but I got some friends there.
Yeah, good to hear. Well, that was fun, David. Hopefully we didn't keep you too long. I know you're pretty busy, but appreciate you coming on. Good luck with everything. I know you got quite the schedule coming up, and St. Andrews, I think, later this month. So that's going to be sweet. We'll have to hear about that. But
Yeah,
like I
sure.
said, good luck, and we'll hopefully talk to you again soon.
Sweet. Thank you guys for having me.
Absolutely.